Hello and welcome, I'm your Code Monkey. In this lecture, let's create the trash counter. This one is actually pretty simple. It's how we're going to drop something and just destroy it. Okay, so making the trash counter is going to be super easy. Once again, going to be another great practical example of the power of writing good clean code and having good organization in your project. So let's do the same thing that we've already done a bunch of times. So first of all, let's make the prefab variant. So let's right click on the base counter and create a brand new prefab variant. Call it the trash counter. Okay, let's go inside. And first of all, let's drag the visual. So find the visual prefab on the trash counter. Okay. Then let's duplicate it to make the selected. So let's rename this to selected. Let's add the selected counter visual. Let's add the visual inside of it. And on the visual, let's select the other material. So the counter selected. And finally on the selected, put it 1% bigger, 1.01. And start off with visual disabled. Okay. So that's the basics, just like we've already done so many times. Now let's make the script to run this. So let's right click, create a new C# script, call it the trash counter. And by the way, here we're already starting to have quite a bunch of scripts, so we should probably organize this scripts folder. So let's make a new folder. Let's call it counters. And let's make another one and call it scriptable objects. So on the counters, let's drag the base counter, clear counter, the container visual, the cutting visual. Then down here, the trash counter. Okay, let's drag them all onto the counters folder. And on the scriptable objects, let's put the cutting recipe and the kitchen object SO. Okay, now our folder is a bit more organized. So let's open up the trash counter. And over here, as usual, let's begin by extending the base counter. Okay, great. Then let's implement the regular interaction. So override the interact. And on this one, again, it's going to be super simple. We just check if the player is holding something, and if so, we destroy it. So just check if player.hasKitchen object. So if the player is holding something, go into the player, get the kitchen object the player is holding, and simply call destroy self. And that's it. It's this simple. Back in the editor, let's just attach a script. Let's make sure to drag the countertop point reference, and on the selected, drag the base counter reference. Okay, with this it should be working, so let's exit the scene, let's save the prefab, and let's drag it over here onto our scene. So let's drag the trash counter and put it maybe somewhere over here on the corner. So let's put it here on an x of 7, y 0, and minus 3.5. Then let's also fill up these spots down here. So let's duplicate the clear counter, put one in there, put another one in there. Let's put another one on the side, and for the trash counter, let's align it. So let's put it a bit more to the side, so on 7.5. Okay, great. And let's put it inside the counters, and now we can test. Okay, so let's see if we can interact with it. And yep, as I approach, yep, I do see it highlighted. Okay, great. And if I interact, obviously nothing happens since the player isn't holding anything. Now if I pick something up, let's say a tomato, and I don't want this tomato, so I want to trash it. And yep, there you go, it does get trashed. Alright, awesome. So this is literally it. Like I said, this is once again another excellent example of the power of writing good, clean code. This was super simple to implement because we have a really nice structure for how all of our counters work. Also because our interaction system is very well built. Also because the kitchen object system is very well made. It's because of all of that great, very clean code that we were able to implement a brand new counter in literally about 60 seconds. So once again, I hope that by following this course, you now understand why I'm always talking about the importance of writing good, clean code. It's exactly because of this. If you write your code correctly, it makes developing the game so much easier. At first, it might seem like the quick and dirty approach is faster, and usually in the beginning it is faster, but as soon as you add some complexity, the quick and dirty approach suddenly won't scale, whereas the well-built, clean code approach, this one will continue scaling very well. So here we have a fully functional trash bin so we can dispose of unwanted objects. Next, let's build a much more complex counter. Let's build a stove counter, which also requires building a really nice state machine. So let's do that in the next lecture.